filled stuff. Yeah. It won't let me click where I want to click. And it's just like, oh, this is annoying. And then when I hit paste, it pastes it the line above where I want it.
Yeah. It does a whole bunch of really weird things.
Yeah. It's just like, how did you guys think this was better?
I don't know.
Even adding, when it says, do you want to add end screens and, whatever those other ones are, storyboards or things. And then it kicks you out of it.
There we go.
And then when you go back, it's, please start from the beginning. It's like, screw you. I'll just upload it and then go and edit my video.
And we are live. Hey, it wasn't me complaining about YouTube that time. See? It affects all of us. It affects all of us. Welcome to Talking Heads, episode 111, your once weekly live show for the latest in beer and tech news. Screw the introduction, I want a scotch.
By the way, I'm John.
I'm Jeff. Welcome to the show, everybody. How's everyone doing? Thank you so much for joining us. Boy, it has been a day around my household. Now, probably all of you are aware if you're watching this show. I'm in the process of moving still. The move began en masse last Thursday. Saturday was like bring all of our stuff here finally and unpack the furniture and whatnot. And so we've been living here since Saturday and slowly trying to unpack everything. And things were going pretty well. Monday didn't. We spent all day Monday just running around different places and didn't get like anything done around the house. It's like, okay, well, we've got Tuesday. It's all right.
We got the rest of the week.
All right, Tuesday I ended up doing a lot of errands around town again, and so it's like 5 o'clock on Tuesday, and I'm just ticked off because I haven't opened a single box in 2 days.
Yeah.
And
you're tired.
Yeah, and it's like, and I have a week off to do this. Like I took a week off work, and here I am like 4 days in, going, I haven't moved a damn thing. And so last night I worked until like 11 o'clock, just cleaning up and organizing the garage and getting things put into the right rooms and whatnot. And then today it's like, all right, let's hit the ground running again. Let's do something. And this morning my wife was out taking our dog for a quick walk, and our bigger dog took off on her, and she had a hold of the leash in kind of an awkward way, and it pulled on her ring finger on her right hand and tore a tendon in her right hand. Yeah. So it has been a day, a day that needed not the week leading up to it.
Yes.
So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm not going to give the normal rules. We're just going to get right into it. Let me know what you're drinking down in the chat. We'll try to give some early shout outs here. We're working through some issues with Firefox and laptops, so this might be a little touch and go for a while on the interactive side of things, but we're here. John, what are we drinking?
Well, I brought a couple things. By
the way, this is just here.
Yeah. I was like, yay, scotch.
Yeah, scotch.
So I was actually, because you're so far away, I gotta actually think about what I bring now. Right. So one, I was like, okay, I want a good beer. So I brought Stone's brand new Enjoy by 1/120. So you have to drink this before the first of the new year.
That's right.
I personally really enjoyed this just because it's different than a hazy, and it's different than their typical Stone.
Yeah,
I think it's a lot more fruitier.
Okay,
that's what I got.
Which is not very common of
It's
Stone.
Not very common of Stone.
They usually go for the really hop heavy.
Yeah, no,
there's
hops, but it's just I get like candy. I get a lot of candy, but not in the malt.
Interesting.
It's weird. And then the only I was going through my stash, and the only other light beer that I had that was big enough to share for two people or had two of. Was a Gilgamesh.
Oh no! Well, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, so I was
pomegranate pale. Oh, we'll give it a shot.
Yeah, we'll give it a shot.
Yeah. Why not?
So this is for Rhett.
Yeah, Rhett, you missed the chance.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So now everyone will get to see how good Gilgamesh actually is.
$1.99 donation. Yep, it still works. Yes, it does. All right, let's see. Skull's drinking an Evil Twin Brewing. Even more little tiny baby Jesus.
Oh, yeah. I like that one.
Water with Emergency. No beer, Mountain Dew. That's still very acceptable.
Yep.
Again, it doesn't have to be alcoholic. It can be
Whatever you want.
Water, soda, it could be a cocktail, it could be a virgin cocktail. It could
whatever, juice.
Yeah. One of my favorite go-tos if I'm working is cranberry juice and ginger ale.
Yeah, no, usually I have just some sparkling water and like lime or lemon juice just totally dashed into it.
Yeah, a little sparkling water and a lime wedge. Fantastic. Give us a house tour. We'll get into like exploring some more of the rooms. I will be doing some networking stuff, so you'll be seeing some more of the house. You already saw the entryway in the main studio. With John, you're going to see one of the bedrooms because we shot an ad in one of the bedrooms.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. I'm drinking whiskey. You need to tell us what whiskey. Yeah, that's just poor form. Voodoo Ranger IPA.
Nice. Which one? There's many.
That's right. It's Christarp FP. Voodoo Ranger. Green tea tonight, Patrick. Awesome.
Nice.
Vidmer Hef. I've got a couple of those in my fridge. Left Bridge, the Warden Milk Stout. Have not heard of that one. So, yeah. Still missing the 1440p. I know I haven't done my network setup yet. I finally got the rack where it's going to go in the garage. So the network setup is kind of like, it's coming.
Yeah.
It's going to take a couple of days. Anyway, let me get some glassware. John, if you want to start us on some beer news.
Perfect. Yeah. So,
by the way, I cut the first story because we kind of talked about it for like 2 sentences last week.
I must have cut out
because there wasn't any source material for it.
Okay.
Because the original images have been scrubbed because there was like a C&D sent. And
okay.
So it's tough to find like, yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't get to tell you that. So,
oh yeah. I was wondering why. I was like, why is it? I thought it was because you didn't want to go with their logo being anywhere plastered on anything. I was like, oh, Jeff's going to be screwed then.
No.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, we were talking about the quick Ravens story of the brewery company.
Yes.
But Ravens are actually back in the news with beer.
That's right.
The football Ravens. But it's actually a particular player. Their cornerback, Marcus Peters. Their last game that they just did against the Bills, I believe.
Yes.
I believe he blocked basically a touchdown pass that would have won the Bills the game.
Right. It was a 4th and 8 from about the 15-yard line. Bills were driving in. The pass was thrown to about the 3 or the 4-yard line, and Marcus Peters made a great no pass interference, perfect coverage on a slant route, which is a very difficult pass to defend against, especially an inside slant when you're the outside corner. Yeah, it was a great move. But he celebrated by doing a Lambeau leap, which is celebratory from the Packers standpoint, and some other teams have started to do that as of late. But he went a little bit beyond the Lambeau leap.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we can show it.
There is the Twitter thing right there.
Yeah. So, can we show that?
Go ahead and hit play. Just leave it in the window right there, and we'll see if the algorithm pings us at all. Now again, I've been having issues. Okay, it is going to play. There we go.
There we go.
So there's the snap. And again, perfect defense. And you see Peters running.
And he runs off to the top left corner. Yeah. And
hold on. That's Smith celebrating. And
there he is. And what he's doing is chugging a fan's beer.
Chugging a Bud Light. Just shotgunning that thing down.
Yeah.
Now I wonder, did he like crack it on his helmet?
No, I bet the fan had it open. Yeah. And it looked like he probably grabbed it and just squeezed it and poured it in. But the NFL didn't take too kindly to that.
No, $14,000 fine.
Yes.
For Mr. Peters.
Well, the good people over at Bud Light, as in many sports fashion, have actually decided to donate $14,000 in his name to a charity of his choosing.
That's right. Bud Light reached out on Twitter and said, hey, the NFL may not approve of your touchdown celebration, but we are certainly fans of it. Yeah. Name a charity that you'd like us to donate to. We'll match the fine in your name.
Yeah.
And a lot of Marcus Peters fans got behind that as well.
Yeah.
So great PR move by Bud Light. They are known for doing a lot of those. And a very cool show of hey, you supported our product or
did something with our product.
You got us on TV, so hey, why not?
You'll get replays and people will be talking about our product.
Yep.
So for them, $14,000 is not even the price of a single commercial.
That's right.
Even probably a Twitter ad is probably not even that amount.
No, not even close.
So
I really want an update on your Grid K2 server project. It's probably going to be sometime in January. Again, I've had no time to devote to it, but it will be coming. I promise.
Now, all right. What did you think of that?
That is certainly not a stone that I'm used to.
Right? It's
drinking.
not a stone that you're used to drinking.
It's not just their standard stone or their double IPA or
Yeah, usually a big malty and then hop forward.
Right, exactly.
Bitter. You think of like bitter beer face. You're like, oh, that's stone.
Right. When I talk about IPAs that just kind of punch you in the mouth right up front, it's a stone beer that I'm talking about.
That's usually what I picture in my mind.
Right, exactly. It's this style beer, and no, this is like you said, fruity, a little bit sweet, but it's not like a traditional like malty sweetness that you get in some beers or kind of. It's I don't want to call it syrup either.
I get floral sweetness.
Yeah.
I get a lot of like there's almost like an oily sweetness of what seems to be now there are 15 different hops in this beer.
If Lifesavers made a potpourri.
Yeah, something like that.
Right, it's a candy, but it's not a candy, and it's a flower, but it's not a flower.
Yeah, exactly. It's different.
If Lifesavers made a potpourri candy, that's what this is.
I really enjoyed it because it was just it's 9.4. Mm-hmm. So this is almost a double-digit imperial IPA.
I wouldn't have called that.
No, yeah.
Wow.
So 9.4. 9.4. And these cans are only $2.50 a piece.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I will say I bought 2 of the bombers.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I wasn't sure if you were actually going to bring this on the show because I know you got these, and I was walking through the store the other day and they had the bombers. I think they were like $4.25, $5.
Yeah, so still
somewhere right in there.
Yeah,
very inexpensive.
Very inexpensive for that big of a beer and this quality. I think.
I mean, usually I'll pay $5 for a standard stone bomber.
Oh yeah,
so $5 for one of their Enjoy By series. Heck yeah.
Yeah, no, I found this quite enjoyable.
And even for an unfiltered, it's not.
Yeah, I can see the monitor actually through it. I mean, so it's not like it's.
Yeah, you can kind of see a little bit of me behind it, not much, but it is not a hazy or,
Yeah, well, that's what I really like too. Is the Stone really never went into the haze craze, and I really appreciate it. If I ever get tired of it, I'm like, I'll just go have a Stone, get right back to it.
Bite my bits. Did I hear Bud Light? Yes, you did. You did indeed.
Wasn't orange though.
No, it wasn't orange. So you'll have to provide that yourself.
Yes.
All right. Moving on.
We did talk about this before.
Yes, we did. And this is just kind of a quick update to that story. So we touched on New Belgium being purchased by, at the time, what was an unknown entity reaching out to purchase the beer maker. It was later disclosed that it was actually the Kirin beer owner, which is a Japanese brewery called Lion Little World Beverages. And they're kind of quickly becoming a conglomerate, trying to buy up a lot of different breweries.
They're trying to do the InBev thing.
Right. Kind of pad their portfolio a little bit and whatnot. But today, actually, just today, or no, it was late yesterday. Yeah. New Belgium is an employee-owned company, and yesterday they voted in favor of the sale going through.
Yeah, so it did actually have to be approved. When we talked about it, it was essentially just drawn up, but still waiting for approval.
Right, exactly.
It was still talked like probably going to get pushed through today or yesterday. It officially is going to happen. I hear John smells and gets
what
of hair and taco sauce.
I hear that's Angie.
Where is my okay?
I hear John smells of hair gel and taco sauce. Okay.
No, that would be my wife. She spilled taco sauce. We had burritos today, and she spilled taco sauce. I don't know what does that even mean.
I don't know. And hair gel, you're a hairspray guy.
I'm a mousse guy.
Oh, that's right.
I'm a mousse. I vary between. It's fine. Sometimes it's a mist.
Big Spoon, $1.99. I pay $20 for a good Bud Light, just like everyone. You're overpaying.
Yeah, where are you buying it? Like Disneyland?
Right. Yeah.
Do you only buy beers at like baseball stadiums?
I think the most expensive Bud Light I've ever seen is about $9.50.
Yeah, I think $10. Yeah, so the sporting event or concert.
Right. Yeah. Go see a Seahawks game.
Seahawks game, or some big band.
I mean, heck, even at the Rose Garden, it's only $6 for a Bud
Yeah.
Light. It's not insane.
That's insane. I mean, you can literally walk across the street, buy a 6-pack for $9.
Yeah. Yep. You certainly can. You can't get back in the stadium with it, though.
No.
That's where they get you.
Yep. But, yeah. So, this is something I don't participate in, but that's just because it's me. I doubt you do either. But there's something called Dry January. I guess, you just don't drink all of January.
Stop making me do things for an entire month.
Yeah.
Like I'm all for No Shave November. I get the reason behind it. I get the charity behind it. I get the movement behind it. I think it's a great awareness thing. Dry January? What the heck?
I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
And so, but apparently the people over at Heineken have, and they're making, a very special variety pack that if you still want to drink beer, but still participate in Dry January, you can buy their special 31-pack of non-alcoholic Heineken.
Is there a worse hell? I can't imagine it.
Could be Bud Light.
Could be Bud Light.
Well, Bud Light isn't alcohol-free.
That's right.
So,
go to India. You can get the alcohol-free Bud Light.
Oh, is that?
Remember?
Oh, yeah.
We talked about that. Yeah. Yeah, just go to India and you can celebrate Dry Week with a Bud Light. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I don't see that. I do. It's kind of nice because it comes in a advent calendar type thing. But then 12 ounces, so you get 12 ounces of a non-alcoholic beer once a day,
and it's Heineken.
Yeah, that's stuff.
Like, is there a beer with any less flavor?
I don't remember what Heineken tastes like, but my last recollection was it tasted skunky and bad.
Yeah.
It smelled really bad and tasted cheap.
Yep.
And was like overpriced. That's my memory of Heineken.
I think I've shared on here before, part of my aversion to a lot of the domestic cheap rice-made beers, your Bud, your Busch, your Miller, your Coors, your Heineken, is the fact that when I was in high school, I worked in a grocery store.
Same.
And one of my jobs being in Oregon we have at the time was a 5-cent deposit for every beer can,
glass,
soda can, glass,
recyclable
whatever.
Can.
Right, any recyclable can, there was a 5-cent deposit, and so when you buy a 12-pack, you pay 60 cents in deposit to the state of Oregon, and then if you bring those back, you get 60 cents back. Well. If you bring a couple of cases back, all of a sudden you got $5 or $6, and you can go.
Exactly, and we didn't have at the time those return centers.
Ours was an automated return center.
It's just by one of itself.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Where it's just you go to that. It was inside of a grocery store.
Yeah, it was inside of a grocery store. Exactly. So my job as a courtesy clerk in this particular grocery store was to clean and maintain the bottle return machines. And these were automated machines with giant conveyor belts and can crushers and everything else. And probably 60% of what we received in there was domestic beer.
Oh, yeah.
And they were not empty.
No.
There was always just this crusty, skunky, musty smell.
Cigarettes, butts still packed halfway through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And people would just dump these in, and underneath those is literally an entire pallet about 3 foot high full of these crushed cans. You can't get that smell out of your nose, out of your brain. It's not possible. And so my first introduction to what is domestic beer was that smell, was rotting Budweiser and Busch and Miller and Coors.
It's that warm, flat, dirty cigarettes with warm beers.
Yeah. Everything.
Oh, I know. And then you lift the thing and it gets on your outfit, your uniform, and then you just got that dark line across your chest.
Yep.
And it's ugh.
Yeah. So part of the reason I don't like domestic beers is actually a little bit of
that just memory and that dread.
The Vietnam dog meme. That's what I do when I.
Yeah. We actually worked at the same chain.
Yeah, the same store.
What? Oh, it was the same store, but just I think it was a year.
It was a year or two.
Apart. Yeah. So we had the same manager.
Yeah, but before we knew each other, John and I worked at the same store, unbeknownst to each other. So anyway, that's our beer news for the week.
Ah, nice. Right on time.
Yep. Actually, we're almost exactly 20 minutes in. 19:27.
There we go.
Nailed it. So even with, spewing a little bit on the intro.
What's the new background?
Me too. I am loving the new background. Audio is still kind of in the works. I'd show you the other side of this room, but it's horrible at the moment. There's boxes stacked about 3 feet high from the camera back.
Yeah, there's like 3 feet high, and then there's all of Jeff's glassware.
The bar is not together yet.
It's like this section back here that you still can't see. Like, oh, it's all pretty, and then all the messes.
Yeah. Yeah, even the bar is kind of fairly well put together for what it is. And it's a really good thing that I am putting in a wet bar, because replacing the plumbing in that wall has actually turned into a necessity. So welcome back to home ownership. We went to hook up our washer dryer the other day, and of course you get the wrong dryer cord, and you got to take that back and go get the new dryer cord, and your old dryer vent doesn't fit, so you got to go get a longer one. So 2 or 3 trips back to the hardware store just to plug in my damn dryer, and finally get everything I need. Go to hook the washer up, get the
water lines in.
The water lines screwed in. Go to turn on the water, and it pressurizes, and immediately water shoots out of both of the spigots, both of the valves on the wall.
Oh my god!
So the valves are probably original to the house. The house is in 1979, and all of a sudden they just both go at the same time.
Oh.
And so I turned it off, and it drained probably into a 5-gallon bucket about that much water in the time that I had turned it on and turned it back off.
Jeez.
Just trying to...
Probably almost 1.5 gallons, probably.
Probably close to 1 gallon.
Yeah.
Is what it drained. And that would have been on the floor had I not been paying attention. But, it was crazy. So I was originally planning on redoing the plumbing in that wall to bring down some water lines from my wet bar, and now we're just going to add, cutting up about a foot higher than that, and replacing
brand new splits,
replacing the faucets up there. So, yeah, fun times. What else has gone wrong this week? There's a couple things that all of a sudden is just like, well, I guess I'm not doing that today.
Well, even when he helped you move in like a week, I was like, oh, gutter doesn't work.
Right. Yeah, one of our gutters is already clogged, even though that was cleared out before we bought the house as part of the seller's stipulations on selling. And we had a couple other things. 1979, dodged the lead paint era, dodged most of the asbestos era as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. Stop apologizing, Jeff. You just moved. Cut yourself some slack. A work in progress. Yeah. And I do cut myself some slack. I'm live.
It's just something to talk about.
I haven't missed a show. But the other thing is there's still no door here.
Yeah.
There will be a door installed on the studio here probably later this week. I'm going to try to get that done.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. So anyway, let's get into some tech news finally. Let me bring up my notes here, maybe. Oh, there they are.
There they are, right next to it.
All right.
Yes, it's compelling news.
This one actually has a little bit of we'll say influence on actually you and me.
Yes, actually it does.
And so I kind of wanted to bring this up just as a conversation piece. So this came up a little bit earlier today, actually. That Instagram and by extension Facebook are putting in new regulations about e-cigarette, vaping, and alcoholic beverage advertisements on their platforms. And this is aimed at influencers. And while I don't consider myself an influencer, I consider myself an educator or a reviewer or someone like that.
You're not telling people go out and buy this product,
right? I'm not promoting products.
Yeah.
I sell ad space on my channel twice. One of them you haven't even seen yet. That'll be up probably next week.
Can't wait. It's good.
It's a good one. It's a fun one. So I do sell ad space, but it's very blatant that it's an ad, and I don't consider myself an influencer by having a product on my show. I'm giving it a 100% unbiased review. And likewise, John.
Yeah.
John is very straightforward on, did he receive beer from X party and do they have any interest in it? And I'm going to review this just as a reviewer. As media.
Yeah, they send it to me. Hey, guess what? I didn't like it.
Right.
You shouldn't get this.
Right.
But they still sent it to me.
And
they didn't pay me to do anything. They just said, hey, we just wanted to give this to you.
Right, and that's a key differentiation as well, is I don't charge for reviews. And I think it's inherently wrong to charge for reviews, because all of a sudden your review is biased. Your review has a monetary requirement and a reliance on being paid.
Yes.
And so if you want to continue doing business with that company, you might be inclined to give a more positive review. I don't think I've ever pulled a punch on this channel. I tend to be more favorable and more agreeable than some other reviewers.
You always try to find the benefits, but then you always state the negative as well.
Right.
So it's, hey, here's the positives, and it could work for these people. Doesn't work for what I need, but these people, this demographic, it could work.
There was a great example of that exactly. I worked with Creative a number of times. In fact, I still use their K3 Plus mixer. It's my mixer that I've used for,
I think, from the beginning.
Year and a half?
Yeah.
2 years?
Something like that.
And it's been fantastic. But there was one review that I did, and it was their K6, I think it was the K6. It was a headphone amp.
I remember
for
that.
the PC.
I was supposed to make it better.
Right. Well, it was a dual amplifier made for higher quality headphones, and was a fantastic bit of kit, but it was $150. And it's probably one of the better headphone amps that you can get, especially in that $150 price point. And I said, there's a lot of benefits to this, but I'm struggling to find like a need or a niche or who would buy this
for $150.
For $150. Like, it's nice, but you're probably going to be better served, upgrading your cans rather than upgrading your amp first. If you already have the cans, you've already spent $300 on a set of headphones. Absolutely, I think it's a great deal.
Yeah.
And I actually went back and forth after that review with Creative a little bit. And they said, I can't believe you don't recommend this. I said, no, it's not that I don't recommend it. I don't know what the market is for it. Because someone who's spending $300 for a pair of headphones, they're probably more than willing to spend $200 for a nice tube amplifier or something like that, a desktop amplifier. And that is going to be a better solution. The $150 price point on it puts it above the reach of like the
everyday gamer,
everyday guy, but below the reach of the audiophile.
Yeah.
And I'm going, where?
I know. Well,
where is it at?
$150 is usually what most people spend on a pair of headphones.
Right.
And they're like, that's my high end.
Right. Right.
The usually about, hell, it's a $50 pair, $100 pair, $150. That's usually like a second or third gen pair of headphones too.
Yeah, $140. Like, I got a really nice set of Sennheisers now.
Exactly, and they're like, I'm good to go.
Right, and so that was one where they sent me the product, and I had a fantastic working relationship with me, and I gave them a negative review. It was in general a fair review and nice, but. Overall, it was a not recommend from me, just because I didn't know who would be buying it.
Yeah.
And it goes to show I'm not influenced by products.
Yeah. You also did the same thing with like a Bluetooth.
That one was funny.
Yeah. There was the Bluetooth speakers you got too.
That one was funny.
You were like, don't buy either of these.
Actually, no. One of them I did recommend.
Oh no, yeah, the shower one,
yeah.
the little pocket one.
Yeah.
You're like, the cheap one. Buy the cheap one because it's way better.
That was a funny review. That is some of my best jokes I've ever written on the channel, and no one ever
went over everyone's head.
Well, and no one ever saw that video either. It has like 2,000 views. So, but anyway, getting back to we are technically influencers because we're media, even though we don't push our own.
Yeah.
My airtime can be bought, my opinion cannot. And that's how I run my channel. Anyway, the new regulations are squarely focusing on vaping and guns.
Yeah.
And they've said there's an outright ban on any influencer involvement in vaping products or firearms. What
was funny is actually the first time I actually understand the vaping thing.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. There's a lot of stuff coming out about vaping now that's, negative. And that's fine. But actually, the first thing when I saw the guns, it's not that I was like disapproving of advertising for guns, but there are actually brands that either have guns in their logos or have guns in the background. Mm-hmm. There's like Full Metal Jacket Coffee or something like that, where they use guns and stuff, but it's just a coffee company,
right,
or something like that. Or there's even a bottling opening company that they use giant old shells to make bottle openers, which technically is two things there. It's alcohol, because there's probably going to be a beer or a beverage in it, and it's gun related, because they're probably going to have an empty gun in the background.
That's right.
But it's not promoting either one. Mm-hmm. So I was mostly curious about those types of companies.
that one was interesting to me as well, because and firearms is always a tricky subject.
Yes.
And I try not to navigate it too much on here, because I don't want an opinion one way or the other to really be displayed. I try to, especially with firearms, I try to cover it from a very neutral ground, where you're both right and I'm not going to argue it, just because I don't want the hate mail. But yeah, the outright ban on a firearm being in a logo for a product that an influencer is putting on their channel, that's getting a little extreme in my opinion. And this can actually come in the form of the Asus Tough series of things, with the digital camo and the firearms that are on the heat sinks of some of their motherboards.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Army, or what if any of the video games, Call of Duty,
right?
Any of that type of stuff. What if the
Red Dead Redemption with
What about that? If they actually have a live model instead, or they have a bonus pack of buy this and you get this limited edition.
Is Tomb Raider still okay?
Yes, it is.
Just wondering where that double standard is going to lie.
Nope, Tomb Raider's fine.
Yeah. But I do agree on the vaping, because, well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, even that's kind of a weird one. The vaping has a weird culture/counterculture right now. I think a lot of the counterculture is probably being generated, and this is going to be like tinfoil hat conspiracy time, probably being generated by big tobacco not wanting vaping to take out of their sales.
True.
If I had to,
how much of that? Add vaping to it.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's no door on the studio, and apparently my daughter is having a really good time listening to our show tonight. Yes. So. Hold on, notes from the producer.
That's one more viewer that is not on here.
That's right. That's 84 YouTube.
Yeah, I could see that, but I don't know. I just whatever. Vaping, it is all of it. Anything like that is just a tricky subject.
Yeah, it is. And while I don't vape, I don't smoke, I don't do anything like that. And actually, most cigarette advertisements in a lot of media have been banned. And going the influencer route was kind of a workaround, or a ploy to get around the regulations, because now it's an individual who's selling their likeness, but not through an official capacity and whatnot. So I think Facebook is kind of trying to close that loophole a little bit in the promotion of vaping. Now, where it really gets interesting is there's going to be special regulations just for people who promote alcohol on their channels.
By the way, this is a very delicious beer.
Stone, enjoy by 010120 for the best IPA your money can buy. Hashtag not sponsored.
That's all we have to say.
Although Stone did send these for John's review, so I guess we need to disclose that. This was provided by Stone Brewing
for you, not. So I brought it to you, so it's not for you. I disclosed it in my video.
You disclosed it in your video, but you're on this video drinking. Although it was only sent to Hops and Brews.
It was, yes, and it was actually sent to me. That's what I was saying.
That's right.
I even got free glassware.
Ooh, you didn't tell me about that.
Yeah, I even got free glassware.
I'm a glassware whore.
And it was my favorite kind. It was, remember the sample cups that I used to have at the tap room?
Yeah.
It's that with the gargoyle.
Oh, nice little tulip.
It's a little 4-ounce tulip. Oh,
nice.
It's perfect. It's like perfect for just some. You want to drink a liquor straight? You just pour that in there. You could sip it all. 4 ounces of that. Two good shots.
Yeah. But yeah, I think a lot of the regulations around the alcohol is kind of coming part and parcel with YouTube's sudden interest in COPA and trying to pass the buck on to individual creators, even though it's the content host who is responsible for COPA regulations, which Google never follows. Yeah, so interesting situation. I'm curious to see how it all plays out. No, I don't do much with Facebook. I know you do use Facebook as an
but I don't. I mean, it's really tiny amount.
Yeah.
I go more on forums for Facebook to promote stuff.
Yeah.
But not really on my own page. It's not that.
Although
large.
you do use Insta quite a bit.
I do use Insta a lot. That one I get a lot more people, and actually I've met a lot more people on it. So I will be curious to see how that affects.
Yeah.
And that's actually how I got a couple of my sponsorships.
Right.
Well, they're not sponsored. They just sent me stuff.
Right.
Sponsors.
Yeah. Industry contacts.
There
is
we
what
go.
call them.
Industry contacts.
Yeah. Because I have an industry contact for Coursera. I have one for Cooler Master.
Yeah.
I have one for,
Well, it was actually kind of funny. You were saying that
Asus, Gigabyte, MSI.
when you did a bad review. Well, I actually did a bad review for a Against the Grain beer, and they said we loved that so much that you were so biased. We want to send you more.
Nice.
And they also sat there and said what I did with the beer was too disgusting. And they tweeted
Was that the ramen beer?
That was the ramen beer. They actually tweeted out pictures of them watching it and being disgusted.
Of their PR.
Of their PR team, like, just with their mouths open in shock.
Yes.
Of, like, them watching it.
So they're watching the video and it's these two girls and you can tell they're watching a screen and one of them's going,
yeah.
oh God.
Yeah. So and then within 24 hours of that video up, they started messaging me like, please, can we send you some stuff?
Yeah.
They're like, that was a great video. We love that just the attitude you provided.
That was a great video.
It was a great video. I did not enjoy that video, but it was fun to do.
John, anything for a click.
That's right. I can do something else everyone else isn't doing.
Mm-hmm. The more I'm drinking this, the more I am liking it. I really enjoyed it right up front.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. But the sweetness is kind of going away, and it's kind of leading back to some of that hot bitterness on the back end, which I wasn't getting when it was super cold.
It's kind of drying on the tongue. There's oils that are left.
Yeah. And super, super pleasant.
Yeah.
This is fresh hopped, right?
No,
it's not fresh hopped?
Not fresh hop, no.
Interesting.
So
it tastes like a fresh hop beer.
But, it's 15 different hops, so
Right.
it's quite a large. But as it's warming up, you taste a little bit of booze. Mm-hmm. And you're getting, but it's not that like, oh, this is boozy.
Right.
It's just enough. Hey, this is a big beer.
Yeah. Suddenly it tastes like the 9.5% that it actually is. No, I'm really digging this one.
Yeah. Well, you got 2 more bombers of it.
That is super good.
No, I actually, even in the video stated, I'll probably go and buy like a 6-pack of this because one of these, I think this is a really good. I want a nightcap, but I don't want a stout.
Yeah.
This would do it for me.
Or
a cocktail.
Yep. That's blasphemous around here.
All nightcaps are cocktails.
That's right. Okay. All right. Moving right along here. What's next? I don't have my notes. UK. Oh, that's right. This one's kind of interesting news. Is it Ofcom or Ofcom? I don't know. Ofcom, I think. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows how you pronounce that? Anyway, the UK has proposed legislation to ban the sales of locked mobile phones. That is, carrier-locked phones. And this kind of comes a couple of years late, in my opinion, number one. But number two, in a direct response to cell phone manufacturers removing subsidies for carriers and charging full price for cell phones, and cell phone companies, cell phone carriers, not responding by dropping prices on their data plans, but instead just passing the cost of the phone on to the customer.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, cell phone companies are making record profits because their numbers didn't change. Cell phone manufacturers are raking in record profits because all of a sudden they can charge $1,000 for a phone instead of giving a carrier $400 to sell their phone.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, the carrier giving the cell phone manufacturer $400 to sell their phone for $200. And we're left with a situation where you're paying between 12 and 30 months on a payment plan.
Yeah, essentially it's an extra 20 to 40 bucks.
It's a lease to own, essentially, plan, where you're paying 20, 30, sometimes $40 if you have like an iPhone,
Yeah, if you have the latest and greatest.
Yeah, if you have an iPhone XS, $1,299, you're paying almost $40 a month.
Yeah.
Over a 30-month period when you sign a 24-month contract. That's a hefty contract for a piece of consumer electronics that lives in your pocket.
Yeah, and then the way they get you will be like, well, you can trade it at any time for the latest one, but we'll just tack that on.
Right. Right, exactly.
And so their whole point is to keep that extra $30, $40 on your bill.
Right, and so all of a sudden it turns into a trade in your 2-year-old car for a brand new car, and the carriers are letting you eat the depreciation on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a weird situation for a couple of years ever since the subsidies stopped between cell phone carriers and cell phone manufacturers. This is kind of a comeuppance of that, because inside of those, when the carriers were getting subsidies and you could buy an iPhone or an Android phone for $199.
Yeah.
For the latest flagship phone.
Or free with a new membership or something like that.
Or almost $400.
Yeah.
Back when you could buy a flagship phone for $99 or $200, it made sense that the carriers would want to protect their investment in you and lock you in to say
2 more years.
You're going to sign a 24-month contract, and your phone will be locked and can only be used on us, because in some cases the cost of the 24-month contract was less than the cost of going out and buying that phone.
Yeah.
So some people might have taken advantage of that had they had the opportunity to. All of a sudden you have an $800 or $900 phone. Well, 2 years on the cheapest AT&T or Verizon plan is $40 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
And you're getting the phone for $99. Well, guess what? After 24 months, that doesn't quite add up, does it? But especially if the phone is in demand, or iPhone releases and you can sell it for $1,500 on the black market,
or jailbreak it or whatever you want to do.
Right. So yeah, it doesn't make sense anymore with cell phone companies locking a phone that you're making monthly payments on to pay the full retail price of that phone, when data costs have remained completely flat even when they were getting subsidies, and their cost was way up here because they had to give you $400 to go buy the phone. Yeah. Yeah, so
I am curious, though, of the imports. If phones will start coming in will be technically usable on certain American networks.
Right. A lot of times, yes, a lot of phones are actually coming with global radios anymore. Yeah. Kind of like with cars. Cars are coming with global cars all the time anymore. You have cars like the Chevy Cruze and the Sonic, which are global cars. Yeah. They're the same parts regardless of where you are in the world. It's the same motor. It's the same standards. Ford does this a lot with the Focus. Oh, yeah. You can get a Focus anywhere in the world.
Well, it's cheaper for the manufacturer to do that too,
as long as you have the scale of production.
Yes, exactly.
And distribution, right? And so with cell phone manufacturers, as long as you're big enough, you're offering a global phone that will work on anyone's network worldwide.
Yeah.
And you just lock it down to say, okay, these phones that are going to the U.S., you can only broadcast in the 1800, 1900, and 2100 megahertz ranges.
Yeah. Now, this might not pass. This is not technically law yet.
Right.
This could not pass. But
right. They are asking for public comment and consultation until March, and it could take a year to implement the new rules if it even does pass. Yeah, they are seriously looking at it. O2, Sky, 3, Virgin Mobile, and such already offer unlocked phones, but BT Mobile, EE, Tesco Mobile, and Vodafone do not. They are selling locked phones when you're paying for them month to month.
BT Mobile, wouldn't that just be T-Mobile in America?
No, it's
isn't that British T-Mobile?
Yeah, I think it is.
So T-Mobile.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever they call themselves these days. God, that company has like 7 different names.
I know. Hey, actually, I didn't even catch it till right now. So.
Neither did I. Neither did I.
I was like, BT. I wonder if that stands for British T-Mobile.
Yeah. Let's see. Ofcom. Okay, I was right. I was right the second time. The iPhone is useless on the secondhand market because Apple locks the single user account into iCloud with all their devices and cannot be deleted. No, because you can still remove your account from the iPhone and then resell it. Just a lot of people forget to do that. But it is a great security system, so if someone steals your iPhone, it's useless because they can't unlock it. So hardware encryption does work sometimes, even when it's annoying. Let's see. Yeah. What else we got to talk about?
Amazon. Apple, Google.
Oh, that's right. I found this one today and I got really excited.
I didn't get to read this one.
Because I'm in the middle of trying to automate my house. With lighting and everything else. Here, let me...
Hello, computer.
Right. Here, let me do this. If you were in the living room now, you'd be really impressed.
I thought you were going to like the toilet just flushed. I was like, the toilet flushed. Wow. You got your wires crossed, man.
Right. No. No. Let's go there. There we go. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, what do you think? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So even those bulbs up there, you all can't see this, but you'll get a hint of this. Let me go here. Those are actually temperature adjustable and dimmable Edison bulbs. So now they're not yellow.
Oh,
now
they're white.
Yeah. And you can fade in between them and do whatever. Yeah. So, if I'm entertaining, I can have them yellow. If I'm doing filming, I can have them more of a 4,000, 5,000K output and have them color balanced properly in my videos. But, yeah.
Just going to have a party.
That's right.
And it's accidentally going to go live streaming.
So all my bulbs are Wi-Fi bulbs, and right now I'm controlling them with the Smart Life app on my phone here over Wi-Fi. And unfortunately, it is 100% cloud enabled, which means I'm sending a command to whoever the bloody hell Smart Life is. And they're sending the commands back down to my lights locally to control the color and brightness and scheduling and everything else. Which means there's a profile being drawn up of me of when I'm turning my lights on, when I'm turning my lights off.
How Jeff likes his light on during this time of day.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's a little concerning. There's no reason in the world
Jeff doesn't want to know everyone to know his light profile.
Right. Those bedroom lights are blue.
Why are they going purple? Oh, it's that time of month again. Jeff's got purple lights on.
His Sonos system is playing very white. There's no reason my cloud or my smart home needs to be cloud connected to a third-party server.
Yeah.
A Raspberry Pi can control all of this in my house. The problem is there's no open standard for that. There's a million different standards, and what's the XKCD comic? There's 15 different standards. We're going to create a global open common standard that everyone will use. Now there's 16 standards.
Yeah.
Well, who knows if this is going to end up being the 16th standard or not, but Amazon, Apple, Google, and the Zigbee Alliance have formed what they're calling a working group as well as a board to oversee the project to create an open source, open standard smart device protocol. So that is any device, anything from light bulbs to motion sensors to high water sensors and electrical monitoring and HVAC and an open standard that will work on anyone's cloud or local system. And I, for one, could not be more excited about that because obviously I purchased a house. I'm looking to do a little bit more smart home things than I have before because I have the capital and the time and the blank canvas to work with.
Yeah.
And I'm finding it is insanely frustrating right now to try to find a light bulb that I can control from my server in the garage.
Everyone always like, just download our app.
Right. Download our app. We're not going to tell you where it's at.
Yeah.
Or who runs it, or why they run it, or
don't worry about it.
But don't worry, it's completely free. And
it's completely free. And wow, there's advertisement as I'm trying to adjust.
There's no ads either, and that really concerns me because if the service is free, you are the product.
Yeah.
Why am I the product? Why am I the product? Because I want to make my lights red, or blue, or dim them, or whatever else, or turn my living room lights into night mode, which is, by the way, awesome. So there's no real timeline on when this is going to happen or who's going to
run this technically, who's on this board.
Right. Basically, all they've said is we are forming a committee and an official board to oversee the creation of a new open standard for home automation. But there's not a lot of information beyond that. Again, this was a news post that was posted this morning.
Oh yeah.
So there's not a lot of actual relevant data here. Most of the article is fluff about, well, Apple was formed in 1984 by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak out of his garage, and today leads the world in innovation with the iPhone, iPad, and Mac.
So there's maybe 4 little tiny paragraphs, and one's just the introduction and what companies are going to be part of this board,
right?
And then their goals, and then the rest of it about Apple, about Google, about Zigbee, and then done.
Yep. By the way, Amazon strangely left off that list of the About section.
Yeah, actually, I just now noticed that.
You all know Amazon.
Yeah, they're cool.
Nah.
Don't worry about that.
Yep. So I, for one, could not be more happy about that, especially if it's an open source standard. That's going to make it so much easier for projects like Home Automation or Home.io.
Yeah.
Or HomeSeer.
It'd be interesting to see if it's all Linux based.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And a home based or Raspbian based. Run on a Raspberry Pi.
That would be really cool to see.
Right. Right now, I am very early toying with Home.io, trying to do some home automation stuff. I'm trying to adopt my bulbs into Home.io so I can control them from my smartphone, but locally from my own server. Because there's no reason my light schedule needs to be anywhere but in my house. And there's no reason people need to know that I keep my house at 63 degrees during the day. Like, no reason in the world that needs to be public knowledge, and that should really stay local to me.
Next one?
Mm-hmm.
You just want to keep these?
Might as well.
Yeah.
It's a Gilgamesh. I can only improve it.
So this is...
Oh, I forgot my bottle opener. I found my
you
my
found
butterfly.
Your butterfly?
Yeah.
I found mine too. My son hit it.
It's a good looking bottle opener you got.
Yeah, it broke. Not the bottle opener, but the ring it came on broke.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the ring it came on was garbage.
Yeah, that broke. I was like, that broke.
It was a trial ring.
Yeah, and I was like, this piece of junk. What'd Jeff give me?
So beer number 2 is Gilgamesh Brewing, the first Gilgamesh we've ever had on the show, because I'm not the biggest fan of Gilgamesh.
Red is.
Red is.
We just make fun of it.
Bollywood Theater Pomegranate Pale Ale with Darjeeling tea. It is a 6%, 28 IBU, and brewed right here in Salem, Oregon.
Yep. Gilgamesh is actually opening up their 3rd location somehow.
Yeah.
I will say though, Gilgamesh does their the flavor profiles that they present do sound interesting a lot of times.
Right.
The Darjeeling tea with pomegranate, that grabbed me. I was like, I don't care if it's Gilgamesh. That grabbed me.
You can smell the tea.
And you know, actually, there's
Oh wow, that's a deeper bottle than I thought.
Yeah.
I was trying to be kind.
Oh, I thought you were just trying to save it for yourself.
No.
Like, John, drink it all. Yeah, you can smell tea.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting aroma.
Mm-hmm. Boy, that's evolving.
I mean, they swung for the fences. Ooh.
To be clear, I don't know yet.
I don't like that aftertaste.
The aftertaste is not pleasant. To be clear, I'm reserving judgment thus far. But the early impressions are not favorable. I'm just surprised you brought me a craft beer that happens to be not very good.
They're craft. Well, look at that. You dropped. Or is that just a...
I think it's just YouTube being YouTube.
Okay, I'm gonna state this tastes like homebrew.
Yeah, it does.
This tastes like homebrew.
It tastes like homebrew. It tastes more like raisins than pomegranate.
Yeah,
it's got more of a cognac kind of flavor profile to it.
I get like I don't know how often you eat pomegranates, but I eat them quite often, a lot fresh.
Mm-hmm.
You know, peel them on the pain in the butt. But I actually really enjoy kind of like biting the juice out, but then I kind of suck on the seed. That tastes more like just the raw seed.
Yeah.
Not the juicy fruit
the
palm.
juice pulp.
The palm or whatever, you know. This just tastes like, I don't know, just not sweet. When I think pomegranate, I think sweet.
Yeah.
And the Darjeeling tea.
Like, I smell the tea.
I smell the tea, and I think I taste it way back. And that's what just gives this off-putting flavor to me.
Those faces, though, LOL, interesting first sip.
It's like drinking Bud Light Orange.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a craft beer Jason could admire.
I mean, I could send him a bottle. I should go send him 2 blank bottles of a Bud Light Orange and another orange lager. And then just be like, you tell me which one's better.
This tastes more like a lager than a pale. Or more Pilsner than pale.
I can see it. It just tastes weird.
Yeah. There's no hops.
There's just a lot of conflicting flavors.
Yeah.
Now, actually, I think Gilgamesh, what they really get by is a lot of their stuff goes to, a lot of their big beers go to actually charity.
Yeah.
They do the Terry Porter, which $1 of every beer sold goes to the Terry Porter Foundation.
Right.
Apparently, this actually is $1 donated from every bottle goes to the Growing Gardens. So those are their beers that are actually their highest selling because they get. And I know, like Terry Porter, because when I had the bar, he would actually go around town and make appearances.
Yeah.
Because Gilgamesh is locally owned, and so he'd be like, "Oh, you have Terry Porter on tap. I will come by with an NBA Jam arcade, and I will play NBA Jam with you as Terry Porter." Nice. And so that drawed a crowd. But then you're like, "I want to buy a beer of Terry Porter while I'm playing NBA Jam with Terry Porter." Yeah, you're gonna do that, and that keg of Terry Porter blew.
Yeah.
And so then you're like, "When's my next Terry Porter event?" So those it's stuff like that Gilgamesh still hangs around. I don't know. People still like them.
Is there a P.O. box to send beer to the new pad? It is in the video description.
Yeah, it's my address.
1567 Edgewater Street Northwest, Salem, Oregon, 97304.
Oh, that's my address.
Post office box number 51.
Marked for hops and brews.
Marked for hops and brews if you want John to do weird things like brew ramen with it.
Or other things.
I
can do more things.
Spaghetti bath.
I want to do a whole series on what's the best morning shower beer.
That'd be a good.
Yeah.
That'd be a good series.
So if you want to see me in the shower with a beer, I can do that for you. Be like, John, see if this
I
is
hate to break
beer.
it to you, but I beat you to the shower
You
beer
did.
on video.
I know you did do that.
That's right.
That kind of gave me the idea. I was like, I could do a whole series of what is the best shower beer.
Yeah. No, I the first advert I ever sold for craft computing was to Dollar Shave Club, and I said that they said, you know, what's your morning routine? And I went, well, shower beer, obviously. And so I said, hey, shower beer, and they said, yeah, that'll work. You know, just go ahead and shoot that and throw it up and let me know what you think, or you know, we'll let you know what we think. And so I think the pitch was, we all have our morning routines. You know, you get up, you brush your teeth, you take a shower, you open your you open your beer and whatnot. And it was me in the shower reaching out and grabbing a tall boy of beer, and then tossing the bottle cap back out from behind the curtain. I was in the shower with the shower running too. So, yep. Drinking it in the shower or bathing with it? Yes. Yeah, drinking it in the shower.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although a bath beer. Now they have.
I've done bath beers before. Well, hot tub beers.
No. I was a bath where you bathed in beer.
Ooh, yeah.
So that's a lot of beer, though.
How much sponsorship would you need for that?
That would be a lot. I would probably need at least 30 gallons.
Yeah.
Of something. But they do have those spas that have you can jacuzzi or bathe in beer, and apparently it's good for your skin.
Yeah.
So
little exfoliating carbonation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
why
whatever.
not? Why not?
Yeah. There's one in Bend.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there's. I think we actually talked about it of a beer spa down in Bend.
Huh. I don't remember that at all.
So,
I have no recollection on that.
Next trip to Bend, look.
I know where I'm going.
Do a Google search. Be like, I want to, honey, let's go for a spa day.
Unfortunately, my wife has celiac disease, so she can't be like in contact with wheat, barley, or rye.
Yes, but
which is really unfortunate in my household.
But she can be getting like a mani pedi while you're
that's
soaking or a massage.
That's true.
Or something.
Can I actually soak in like rye whiskey?
Now that would be fun.
Because I'm all in.
Although
I will freaking cannonball.
30 gallons in rye whiskey. That's an expensive bath.
I don't need 30. I could do like a barrel.
You're just like, just give me 15 gallons.
I could soak in a 50-gallon barrel. Totally fine with that. Just give me a little
single barrels. Is this single batch? Right? This is single batch. I bought single batch.
That's right. Just give me a little copper bendy straw.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Oh, now there is a series of beers.
Oh, we were going off there.
That a brewery should do. All wild ales, and they get random strangers to bathe in them. So
say that again.
Okay. Here is. I'm gonna pitch this to a brewery. A idea of wild yeast strain beers. And actually, Sam Adams did this already. But you go and take, say, the first 50 people, we will give you a single barrel, and they have random people bathe in it. And so each barrel is technically a different strain of wild yeast. It is yeast off your body. Sam Adams already did this with Brewdogs, where they bathed.
I remember that.
They bathed in like 40 gallons.
That. Yeah.
And they created a beer.
Yeah.
It's no different like Rogue doing the beard beer.
Yeah, they've done the beard beer.
But then you get 50 strangers, and they'll pay like $50.
Yeah.
And then you just sit and bathe in it for like...
Just think, you all could drink this right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Right there.
Right? I would do that. I would pay it. You could have hops and brews brewed.
Brew a little hop myself.
That's right. Oh, I just got back from chopping wood. I'm all sweaty here.
Working down on that apple farm.
Oh, boy. Haven't taken a shower in 5 days.
Thick.
That's an idea. That's a promotional idea.
Oh, boy.
I could see that in Oregon, though. I could see that in Oregon.
I could.
Oh.
You just wearing a flannel shirt, swinging an axe. That's an ad somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yeah. God. Now I can't unsee it.
Don't worry, you won't see it on Facebook or Instagram. So
yeah, exactly. So what are you thinking of this one?
You know, little sips aren't bad.
Little sips aren't bad.
Little sips.
That's kind of what I found.
I'm just little. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you know, for this show, I think that's kind of working, but it is leaving a little lingering in the bottom of my throat.
It's there.
I don't really like.
I think that's the tea.
Yeah.
And it's like, because I drink tea. I drink a lot of green tea, a lot of black tea, and that's what it tastes like. But it tastes like when I made like a really good hot batch, really well steeped of like a black tea. And then I let it sit on my desk for like 3 hours. And I come back to it and I finish off the last little swig.
Yeah.
That's what's stuck in my mouth right now.
Yeah.
Is that bittered, dank, oversaturated tea.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been oversteeped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's what I'm tasting out of this. It's not terrible. It's not great.
It's Gilgamesh.
It's Gilgamesh.
That's kind of what, I don't know. This is, and actually I know the brewers and some of the owners personally. Mm-hmm. Great people.
I went to school with one of their daughters.
Yeah, good people.
Yeah, good people.
Good people. It's just okay beer.
Yeah, I've been in their house.
Yeah, so it's like, I love you guys.
I love you guys.
But
can John get a job as a brewer though?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, no.
What would you do as a head brewer or something?
If I did that, I'd tell him to get. I don't want to say on camera because, yeah, well, it's not like we're gonna get influencers on that big of a scale, but their equipment they don't clean their equipment as good as they should.
Yeah.
Let me put it that way. There's a reason why certain batches are bad.
There's rumors floating around, and there's batches that are better than others. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that.
But yeah, some more Google news.
Yes.
Back with some Google. Google is to remove Avast and AVG extensions.
Weird.
From their Chrome web store.
Interesting.
After Mozilla and Opera already did.
That's right. Yeah, so Google is simply following suit here, but Google, as the 80% stakeholder in the web browser market, it makes a couple more headlines than others do.
Yeah.
So in October, you will no longer be able to use
in October this year, developers revealed that Avast and AVG extensions were kind of monitoring more than what they should have.
Yeah, and this is AdBlock Plus. The developer of AdBlock Plus said, we were looking into this extension, and they're doing more than virus monitoring.
Yeah.
I was thinking all this. I read the first line and went, so in October of next year, wait, they're giving you 9 months?
Yeah.
No, hold on. I confused myself. Basically AdBlock Plus discovered that the analytics being collected by AVG and Avast were above and beyond what they needed to be for simple virus scanning and web page security and encryption protection. And found that they were doing a little bit of spying. Well, I don't think it would be too
hard to push that.
Too egregious to say, or too much of a stretch to say.
I mean, when they're basically taking your history.
Yes. Right.
I would call that spying.
Right. Basically, they were uploading the history to their servers and essentially building an ad profile on you.
Yeah.
If we can make like the next leap in what your data could possibly mean to them. They were trying to sell advertisements to you by using your own history, which in some products is kind of the way that they're used. Gmail, Amazon, your history is what you are and how they advertise to you. However, Antivirus?
Yeah, I know. Well, and then Avast and AVG have been around for a while, and they've always been like, a while ago were a lot of go-to home free.
No, AVG was one I recommended for years, but it hasn't been since like 2007.
That's what I'm saying. Like back in the early days, Avast and AVG were like, this is, hey, you're at home, you need a free antivirus, pop this in, you're good to go. This will probably take care of 90% of what you need because you're just a standard browser.
Take me back to 2003. Give me ZoneMinder, ICQ, and Avast antivirus.
Oh, that's right. ICQ. Oh my gosh.
Take me down to the best.
God, the chat room's there. Oh, what is it? ASL? Age.
Oh.
And location.
Age checks location.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, that's not a chat room I recognize. Oh, ASL.
Yes.
Okay.
No, someone. I messaged that to in our business messenger to someone and as a joke, and she's young enough to not know what that was, and I was like, oh man, I feel so old. Oh. I was like, oh. She was like, what is that? I was like, oh. I'm too old. I remember when that used to get all the girls.
Yes. Yep.
And then you're like, I'm pretty sure 90% of the time I was talking to a man.
I was confused because I've never heard it said out loud before.
Right, you always just, oh yeah, I know what that is.
Right. Yeah, no, age, sex, location. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man, ICQ making all the news lately. Yeah, that's right.
No, it was Trillion. I was always on Trillion, the one that combined everything together. Yeah.
Yes, I too was on Trillion.
Yeah, all my friends were like, "How do you do that? Where'd you find that?" I'm awesome.
Hacker man.
That's right. So yeah, Chrome was finally just basically following suit with Mozilla and Opera, but they are saying that if you have Avast or AVG currently, they are still supporting it, but they're just letting you aware of, hey, this could be happening to you.
Yes.
But they will still support it. I believe they're saying that the AVG is actually still available in their ad store, but they're going to be taking it out soon, but Avast is gone currently.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah. It was one or the other.
One or the other.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But obviously, who's not just running Microsoft Defender anymore? Because it's as good and in fact better because at least only one person is spying on you instead of two.
Yeah.
So yeah, just use Windows Defender if you need an antivirus.
Yeah. No. What I love is I'll go on a lot of people's computers. It's Windows Defender, Malwarebytes, and then they get a couple of the other. They have like 3 or 4 running at once. Yeah. It's just because they just click install, and they don't read.
Well, they get the McAfee free when
McAfee. That's it.
When they install Adobe updates.
Adobe, or it's just pre-installed. Get McAfee for 1 year.
Right. Your McAfee subscription expired. Oh no! Oh wait, I never paid for McAfee.
Exactly.
Little bit is awake now.
Might have talked too loud.
Yes.
Can't wait for that door.
We're trying to keep it down. There will be a door installed by next Wednesday. I'm hoping. I'm hoping this weekend. Are you free this weekend?
Not Saturday. Saturday is my in-laws' Christmas.
Sunday's my in-laws' Christmas. Yeah. On Monday I'm doing plumbing.
I'm working Monday. I have a horrible. My holiday schedule got released today. Horrible.
Oh, yeah.
Half day Christmas Eve, hour off day after Christmas.
Oof. So you can show up at 9 instead of 8?
Yep. That's the schedule they gave us.
Oof. Ouch.
Yeah.
I do have to go back the day after Christmas. I have to.
But yeah,
be there at 7:30 on the 26th.
Well, last year they gave us the whole week off.
Yeah.
And so it was just like going from that then to this.
Yeah.
Was like What?
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah. Well, I guess last year, some of our outside offices, I guess there were so many outside offices basically said, screw it, we're just shutting our office down. We don't care. Yeah, there's some yeasty floaties of some kind.
Yeah. Kind of an interesting floaty in there. They're grouping together.
Could be the tea.
I didn't think of that. It could be tea. Could be pomegranate.
Or it could be the pomegranate, yeah.
Yep. It's interesting.
Yeah. But basically, I guess that the outside offices last year kind of forced my owner to say, all right, fine, everyone gets all we got because we're just, there too many offices are going to be shut down.
Yeah.
This year, he went ahead and said, no, screw you guys.
You're working, dang it.
We're working.
Yep.
So, but it's so funny. At my work, we have so many, my not that my boss is cheap. He's actually not a cheap guy. But as far as certain, he's just old school.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you have a computer? Does it turn on? We got to use it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how old it is. Hey, it turns on. Does it have internet? Yes, it does. Yeah. Use it. Type of a thing. Even if we have like an XP, a 7, a Vista, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Is your boss by any chance Vladimir Putin?
Could be. No. But yeah. So apparently,
is your phone ringing all of a sudden? That's weird.
Why is there a red dot?
Target acquired. Yeah. So John's boss is not Vladimir Putin, just to set the record straight. However, some press photos recently, very recently, much more recently than should have been.
Actually, this morning,
showed Vladimir Putin sitting in front of a computer, using his computer as a lot of world world leaders do. He's
been only
free elections and all that.
Yeah, how many times has he been freely elected? 3, 4?
More than that.
Free election.
I think he holds them every 2 years just to kind of pump up his ego.
Yeah.
Did you see that? 99%. Suddenly we're 1% smaller. That's right. So Vladimir Putin had some press photos released, and it is pretty darn clear. Hold on. Maybe?
Can you get it? Can you get it?
What the heck?
Oh, your hotkeys not working.
Yeah, my hotkey suddenly broke. It is pretty darn clear that Vladimir Putin is using Windows XP.
Can we like...
Yeah, I think we can. Everyone knows.
Oh, everyone knows that toolbar right there.
Yes. Standard toolbar.
That's a sexy blue.
Yep.
And you can tell there's a nice shade of green on the back right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Classic. Classic. Speaking of 2003, they want their operating system back. Yeah, so apparently upgrading not really in the budget for Soviet Russia. And I wanted to take this opportunity actually to talk about the end of life for OSs in general, because everything has a finite time, especially with tech, with as quickly as tech moves. Next month, Windows 7 actually goes end of life.
They actually extended the virus pack by 14 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
you have until February 1st.
No. Oh yeah, I thought it was January 14th.
Yeah.
Something like that.
No, it's not January 1st. It was January 20th, I think.
Something like that.
But when Windows 7 goes into life.
Yeah, well, like Windows, I think they stated like it was going to be January 1st, and then they extended it just recently.
Right. So anyway, Windows 7, which a lot of people still use, like 20 or 30% of you still do actively use.
Hey, I like
and you're holding on to it going, well, I hate Windows 10. Well, I hope you like viruses. I hope you like, I hope you have AVG installed. It goes end of life, which means it is going to be ceasing all security and patches for OS.
They'll cease security for any updates. They will no longer support or update the security at all. So what you get is it. And if anyone ever breaks that security, you're screwed.
Yep.
Essentially. Which most of it has already been broken already.
Right.
I still like 7. I like 7. I love 7 when it came out.
Ooh, January 1st is also end of life for Python 2. Ooh. Why are you not on 317? Seriously.
Everything's dying next year.
Yeah.
So, but Windows XP, that's secure.
Yeah. Totally secure.
It's totally secure.
Soviet Russia uses it.
Yeah, I mean, it has Internet Explorer 3?
Came with 6.
6?
No, it shipped with 6.
Yeah, it was. I remember it was a low number.
Because remember, 5.5 was the max you can get on OS 9 for Mac. So we're talking like 99, 2000.
Yeah, it was. It died 03?
XP?
Yeah.
XP was
didn't die, but the next Vista came out.
No, Vista.
Or no,
Vista came out in 2007. January 2007.
There was XP. And then it was Vista, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
XP came out January 2003.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. That's what the 3.
It was Windows 2000 before that.
That's what I was. I was like, I knew 2003. I was like, what date?
And XP was the first consumer-focused NT version of the kernel.
Yeah.
Before that, it was a DOS-based kernel.
Whoa.
What?
There was like, it almost looked like a slimy slug.
I told you, there was like a clump.
There was like a clump. Yeah, no, it looked. If you want to talk about like tequila worm, like it kind of looked like that. Like floating in there.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to show you, but it kind of dispersed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I saw it.
God, that was weird. What was that?
Yeah, there's a lot of sediment in this. There's a lot of sediment in this.
There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, mine doesn't have that.
No, that's mine's weird. You got the bottom of the bottle too. That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, because I did take the last little hit.
Yeah. No, there's like a sea.
Yeah.
Almost of something clumped together.
His sea monkeys are coming to roost.
Gilgamesh.
Yes. What were we talking about?
I don't remember. XP 2003.
Yeah. So Windows 2000 came out in 1999.
We forgot.
Yeah, I'll get to it. So Windows 2000 came out in 1999 and had the NT kernel abandoning the DOS 6.22 framework that Windows 95 and 98 were built on. Actually, DOS 7.0 for Windows 98 if you want to get technical, although 7.0 wasn't an official release. But yeah. Sorry.
Really technical here.
Sorry.
Of 20-year-old tech.
Yeah, so I think it was October 2002 or January 2003 was XP officially released. It was sometime in that time period.
Yeah.
And that was when DOS was officially end-of-lifed and XP became the new standard with the NT kernel, so abandoning DOS entirely. So yeah, gosh, that was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm getting old.
No, I remember when XP came out and it was like, this is awesome. The interface is just still user-friendly. Yeah. Everything is just easy to get to. You didn't have to go to the command to do half the crap you wanted to do. But yeah,
and suddenly with Windows 10, you have to go to the command to do half the crap you want to do because there's no UI for it.
I know. Although, you know what's so funny is now that anytime I even go to command just to like look up someone's IP address, they're like, oh no, we're getting serious now. What's wrong with my PC? It's like, nothing. I'm just looking up your IP address.
Oops. Oh, I don't have it auto. Dang it. Thought I did. So I have a DOS box set up on my system here with Windows 3.11 for work groups and an actual version of Microsoft Office 2.0. Fully registered, ready to go.
Where'd you find that license?
It's an old one.
You probably had it, right?
I probably, yeah.
It still works.
Yeah, I had it. Let's see what else is on there. Adobe Photoshop 1.0 is on that.
What filters are I'd love to see the tools.
I should go back and do a video on Photoshop 1.0. Premiere 1.0 would be fun.
Try to edit it. You know, it'd be so awesome to see what you could do.
H.264, what's that?
Versus the same photo now versus then, but then do specific of like, I need to splice in this picture with this picture, or this video together with me in the background.
Give me an MOV made in MJPEG.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even be able to export anything in high def from Premiere.
Well, you could export a certain fairly high resolutions. The problem is, what bit rates are you going to be capable of?
Yeah.
Because the software itself is only 16-bit or 32-bit at the very most.
So still grainy.
You only have a certain address space to work with on the color space.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting.
You can go all black and white.
Make a thumbnail from Photoshop 1.0. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, what's really funny is I used to have this splash screen.
Oh, me? Yeah, I know. I did too. And then as soon as I saw it, automatically brought me back. I mean, how old is this image?
Yep. Yeah.
But it brought me so far
you
back.
used to be able to replace the splash screens when Windows was booting, and I know I had Soviet Edition for a while. I had a Star Wars Edition for a while.
Older, like a Republic or something like that.
Mine was a TIE Fighter sitting right above it. Right above the Windows XP. It was TIE Edition or something like that. But yeah, it was... back in the day, that was fun. That was a lot of fun to modify that. So yeah... the Kremlin. So we're running on Windows XP. And they wonder why Stuxnet was so successful.
Yeah.
All right. Getting into a little bit of gaming news. NVIDIA introduced 6 more games with ray tracing support earlier this week. Actually, earlier today.
Yeah.
Most of our news came from
today.
I seriously just bit my tongue trying to say that. Wednesday. I didn't know that was a word possible to bite your tongue with. Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everyone.
It was a pretty slow news week.
It was a slow news week until this morning.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're like, okay, there's a couple of... We could probably stretch this out. We could stretch this out. We could stretch this out. So yeah, you're going to get, if you have ray tracing, you're going to get 6 more games on top of what, the 7 you already have? So
ish.
You're great, you're at 14. Woo-hoo! Double digits, people.
That was so worth my investment.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I didn't even read what games there was.
Neither did I.
I was just like, I hope Jeff gets this.
So apparently there's a battle royale game, Ring of Elysium, as well as Boundary. Let's see. These games are games that already have
Project X, yeah. Pushing the Boundary, and they're just talking. And there's Minecraft.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo.
Jinwan Sword 7. And Minecraft, yeah.
Yeah.
Yay!
Ray tracing.
Yeah, Boundary is a zero-gravity shooter with the idea being to implement a realistic recreation of outer space, and doubtless that realism will be helped by the addition of ray tracing for visuals. And it's pictured on top of the article, so that's the picture right up there that you're all looking at. That is Boundary.
Never heard of it.
Orbital...
0G first-person
shooter. 0G battle royale, and it's ray traced apparently.
Yeah,
because ray tracing is so difficult with a single light source.
So wait. So when you shoot the gun, do you like spin back and do loops?
Well, you're
only the force.
Well, it's
you're in 0G.
No, it's Newtonian physics, and so you're only going to be expelled with the same velocity that a round shot forward would be, and so like a 9mm round. You're not going to get hit in the chest and shoot back 10 feet, and neither are you shooting the gun, because it's the same force is being delivered to your arms that it would be from the bullet hitting your chest.
Depending upon if you have a stiff arm.
No, because the forces don't lie.
Yeah.
You can absorb forces in your arms, but in 0G, your arms are still going to carry their own momentum and carry you back.
Yes, but they'll carry... Yeah, so what if you ended the clip...
But you're not all of a sudden going to go like that.
No, but you would still move, so you do one shot, you're still going to be up here, and then you do this...
Right, you can incrementally increase your momentum because your momentum's also not going to stop because it has to be acted on by another force in the opposite direction.
So I want to know if this game does
How many bullets you have to shoot to do a 360 repeatedly.
Yeah. I want to know that.
Mythbusters, you need a much bigger budget and need to come back. That's what needs to happen right now.
Yeah, zero G. I want to know the physics, if this game is actually accurate.
Right.
I don't care about the ray tracing. I want to know the physics of the game.
Jeff needs a pie hole to block all those ads on the web pages. Normally I have one. It's running on my home server. My home server is sitting in my garage right now on the bottom shelf of a Costco storage rack.
Yeah.
So
it'll probably be up maybe next time I'm on.
Definitely next time you're on, maybe by next week.
Yeah. So I figure next time I'm on, depending upon...
By the way, since all of you are here, we are going to be having Talking Heads over the next 2 weeks, even though it is Wednesday.
Holiday seasons.
We're going to be moving Talking Heads to Thursday. So on the 26th and on the 2nd, we will be holding Talking Heads on Thursday at 8 p.m. Pacific time, instead of on our normal Wednesday night slot, just to give everyone time for the holidays.
So wait, who's on the...
So Steve is on the 26th,
and
you're back on the 2nd.
So I'm on the New Year, Steve's on the day after Christmas.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
All right, that works.
And I think Steve and I are doing an ugly sweater day next week.
So basically, here's the gift I got.
Right. Right.
No, you shouldn't do ugly sweater, ugly gift.
Ugly gift?
Ugly gift.
I'll bring whatever gift I got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah.
So do an ugly gift.
You mean ugly GIF?
No, I don't.
All right.
One more gaming news.
Yep.
Because it's so important.
It is so important. Warcraft 3 Reforged is going to be available on January 28th. This is the complete remaster of Warcraft 3. I'm actually a little bit excited for this one. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to play it just time-wise. Like, I'd like to be able to run back through the campaign at least once. But I'll probably pick it up.
Maybe like mid-year next year when it's on sale?
Yeah, $20, $15.
Yeah.
You know.
When it's on that $9.99 crate?
Yeah, certainly I'm not going to pay $60 for it because I'm not going to put that much time into it.
Yeah, I want to play those couple campaigns that I really enjoyed,
right.
And I want to see, those are awesome. Oh, the blood splatter's great.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, the Warhammer.
It's in widescreen.
What? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
check out the water and the blood and the ripples going down. Yeah.
So I want to play back through Warcraft 3, which is basically how WoW came into existence, because Warcraft 3 was a real-time strategy game, but it took on some of the precursors of StarCraft. As you had a hero that was in the match that had certain campaign objectives that he had to hit and whatnot. And it was a very interesting twist on real-time strategy at the time, this being, 1996.
Yeah, and that's the problem, is though when that came out, I didn't like it because I was a huge fan of Warcraft 2.
Yeah, so StarCraft came out in 1997, I believe. January 97 or December 96, somewhere right in there. And it was kind of revolutionary in that it kind of turned the real-time strategy on its head by adding not just like you have to dominate the other side.
Yeah.
There's other objectives to this.
That wasn't just gather and grow.
Right, and I think Warcraft 3 came out in 1999, I want to say.
Yeah.
99 or 2000.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I was going to say 98, but it might have been 99.
I think it was 99. But it carried a lot of the aspects that that StarCraft had invented, with the heroes and the subplots and the using the game engine to maybe play a single player campaign like a Diablo style game.
Yeah.
Instead of a real time strategy game, and then other times you're playing a real time strategy game. So it was pretty innovative for the time. So like I said, I'll probably pick it up. I'll probably play once through the campaign. I don't know that I'll jump into the online play at all, just because.
Yeah, I do wonder if this remastered version, I didn't read this part, but if they extended the online stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did with WoW, because of WoW and all the awesomeness that basically
March 31st, 98. March 31st?
You're biting.
March 31st.
Yeah, you're biting.
Sorry, my tongue is swollen up.
I could have swore it was 98, early 99 is what I was thinking.
Oh wait, July 3rd, 2002 was Warcraft 3.
No.
March 31st, 1998 was StarCraft. Yeah.
Nice.
I thought StarCraft was a year earlier. I thought it was January 97. But apparently it was March 31st, 98.
What?
And then Warcraft 3 was 2002, which actually puts it on equal footing with like Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast, which I thought was way late.
That's just, man, do you remember being in that time? Be like, wow, we're so in the future.
I remember Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast being the benchmark title that you had to play. Yeah, March 26, 2002. They came out the same week. Warcraft 3 and Jedi Outcast came out the same week.
Man. We are now those people.
Right.
Those guys.
Yeah. That's insane.
I feel bad.
That's insane. Jedi Outcast built on the Quake 3 engine.
Oh, that was out forever too. So many games were built on the Quake 3 engine.
Yep.
That was a good engine though.
That was
there was a lot of good games built on that.
So yeah, Warcraft 3. You gonna pick it up? Are you much of an RTS guy?
No, I mean I used to. Early 2000s, I really was.
Age of Empires.
Oh yeah, I mean like Steve and I would even go to back with LAN parties, and then he had his little home network, so we would just go to his house. We would play for hours.
Yeah.
Of just against each other, and then he actually even hooked up a network with his neighbor. Again, back in that day. Early 2000s, like, oh, I got a network with my neighbor. That was incredible.
Yeah.
And so we would have like a 3-person LAN party, or once a month, Steve and his friends would hold LAN party, big CRTs, and we'd order Domino's and Mountain Dew and Pepsi 2 liters.
Steve says that still seems like modern gaming to me. Right?
Right? It feels like it wasn't that long ago.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
I remember that.
But it was 18 years.
I know. Oh man, that's bad. Ooh, I know.
Right in the feels.
I know.
Or is that
what are all these extra keys I have?
Or is that my little Mego acting up?
I'm back.
Yeah. All right, and we saved the best for last. A little bit of Star Trek talk. This is the article that you actually don't have up because. Go ahead and click on it in Chrome and then just go full screen with it. There you go.
There we go. You can do that.
Figure it out. So we talked about this early last year, maybe around March or April. Although who knows, because my timeline's all messed up.
Yeah.
But Quentin Tarantino was talking about doing an R-rated Star Wars, a raw...
it's going to be like a Pulp Fiction in space.
Right. Well, a lot of people assumed that, but... I think it was going to be more like a Django Unchained kind of...
Probably. I think it was just going to be a bunch of blood green Klingon blood everywhere.
Right. Single character, single story, but it sounded like it was going to be, no holds barred on the violence and the gruesomeness of space.
Yeah.
And it was kind of an intriguing idea because Quentin Tarantino is definitely a very creative writer, definitely a very... very unique director.
Well, there was even talked about he wrote the script already. Right. The script was written.
The script's already done.
Yeah. And so it's coming out that, and this came out yesterday. A couple days ago, I even heard it was like, oh yeah, if it was going to be this, I'd do it in a heartbeat, blah, 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 within a week ago. And I guess yesterday he said, nope.
I'm quote, steering away from it, end quote. In favor of possibly a smaller project. Apparently, the scale of trying to do a Star Trek movie and do it any justice, he goes, just logistically, it's not going to work.
Well, I think if you were to do it, we would have to consider it probably non-canon.
Right.
And I think a lot of people would hate it, and then the Quentin Tarantino fans would love it, and the Star Trek fans would be like, no, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Right.
You can't do that. So, yeah, I can see that, because I wouldn't be surprised if from studios the amount of pressure he would be getting from them of like, no, you have to follow certain rules, certain strict rules with your story. You can't have Kirk actually sleeping around with everyone and showing it,
right?
And then like having him covered in Romulan blood,
right?
Because he blew someone up or torturing someone. That's not the Federation way,
right?
Which he would probably like, oh yeah, no, we're doing that,
right?
So I don't know, but just the Quentin Tarantino stuff,
Phaser wounds are nasty business.
Yes, exactly. To where when they're doing a interrogation, Kirk just shoots someone in the foot.
Right.
Blows a toe off.
Yep. Did I say Star Wars? I don't feel like I said Star Wars, but everyone was trying to say Star Wars or Star Trek. Apparently I said Star Wars at the beginning of the segment. Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Although
the superior of the two sci-fi flicks.
I would have loved Quentin Tarantino to do the Star Wars. Now that would have been awesome.
Can you imagine Tarantino doing episode 8?
Oh gosh. That would be awesome. I would go see that.
Yes.
I'm not going to go see the new one.
When it comes out. Let's see. $2 donation, Heavy Palms. Cheers, guys. Moving has to hurt. Where's the rest of... Sorry, I'm dealing with like half a chat screen here.
There we go.
Has...
Hurt my life?
Moving to East has hurt my live view. Oh, did you move the East Coast?
Oh, okay. I thought it was Jeff's moving hurt you.
You're right. Yeah, no, moving hurt my live view too. Not gonna lie there. So,
did you talk about William Shatner last week?
No.
Oh, and his divorce?
Oh yeah. No, he filed for divorce.
Yeah.
From his wife of what was it, 40 years?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
89 years old and goes, I'm done with you.
I'm done with you. I'm going back to lounge singing.
She packed my bags.
No, I'd love him to do the Futurama
0 hour.
Yeah, no, the Eminem, the real Slim Shady. All you other are just imitating. How do you spoken word or rap? He found a way.
Found a way. And I'm gonna be as a kite by then. Yeah. Half the people don't know what we're doing, but
yeah,
the good have to.
They both matter. So we got about 18 minutes, 13 minutes, whatever. Q&A for anyone that wants to chit chat with us.
Do you want a touch of scotch?
A little smidge.
Just
I got to drive.
Yes.
Snifter.
We can't do 20 minutes of Q&A.
Yeah. He's got to go to his filthy back studio area where his glasses are at.
Find my glassware here.
Yeah. We have to end the show with some scotch because he started it with scotch.
I just
and if you haven't seen it, because Jeff did preview the scotch in his Discord, if you haven't joined Jeff's Discord, if you followed us this far along, obviously you enjoyed this show, this type of entertainment, and there's lots more on Jeff's Discord. Minimum is just $1, and that's it. And you can do more, but $1 will get you access to a bunch of talk channels, access to Jeff, myself, the other hosts of Talking, and Steve and Rhett. You get
those
to see,
other guys.
No, those other guys. You'll see Steve next week. A huge community of awesomeness. I mean, it's probably one of the best Discords you'll ever be on.
Yes.
So check that out. We've had this before.
Yes, we have. This is the Highland Park Magnus Single Malt Scotch.
Yeah.
Good, solid single malt Scotch.
Yeah. It's not too expensive, if I remember correctly.
$35.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it's easy price range.
One of my favorite bottles, too. It has a cork that has a threaded insert on the top of it.
Oh, so you get a little bit of both. So you know it's sealed.
Right.
But
so, yeah. It's a cool cork because the cork goes in, and then it rotates about a quarter turn, and now the cork is locked into the bottle. So, best of both worlds.
But yeah, you get to see kind of previews, ideas, you get suggestions. So check that out.
Yes. Please do.
And obviously, if you've stayed this long, you probably enjoy the show.
Chat getting all the secret Discord chats, at least during Talking Heads. Yeah, and that's a new thing. Mainly that's for my own benefit, so I only have to have one chat window open. But yeah, no, if you want to keep the chat going all week long, join the Discord. Minimum donation of $1 per month, although you could always donate more. And pretty much all the proceeds go directly back into content for the channel or equipment for the studio or things to keep my lights on, trying to find the right Wi-Fi bulb. We're not a secret anymore. We show up on YouTube. Oh, no. Yes. Trick Logic says, I'm here for the access to Steve. So Steve does have an after-hours show. That's for the $20 and over crowd.
Yeah, so you have to pay premium.
That's right. Steve does not come cheap.
No. Yeah. He's the most expensive one of all of us.
That's right.
Actually, I have to pay Jeff.
That's right.
I'm the cheap.
Yeah, but he buys Gilgamesh. So.
That's why I have to pay Jeff, is because I give him crappy beer.
That's right. You guys are getting paid? John's realization.
Going out and buying beer for this show every week.
That's right.
And I'm only on every other week.
It's really great. Well, the other two are only on once a month. But it's really fantastic because I suggested this show to these guys. These are just people that I hang out with, people that I like going out and drinking with and whatnot. And we all have very similar interests, and we can carry a
people
conversation.
You met at my bar.
To be fair, I knew Steve before the bar.
Yeah. But, okay, you still met him at my house during poker.
Yeah, that's true. But people I enjoy having conversation with, that kind of thing. And I said, hey, I'm thinking about doing this live show where we do tech news and we drink beer on the show. And all three of you went, that's fantastic. What kind of beer do you need me to bring?
Yeah.
No one thought, I'm going to drive out of my way. There should probably be some beer provided. All of you just started buying beer for the show.
Yes.
So
we just wanted an excuse to drink.
I pay for like 2 cans a month.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, I got some filler in my garage. I know you guys.
We just want an excuse to drink.
John shows up and goes, I only brought 2 beers this week. A couple of.
Although I paid Jeff back in that. I'm like, hey, I'm bringing 2 beers. They're Bud Lights.
That's true. Yeah. John does pay me back. Anyway, does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns, things you want to talk about, news that we missed?
News you want us to revisit?
It can be anything.
Yep.
Nothing off limits. Go. Suggested donation, $1 million a month. Yes.
And just 1 month, please. That'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm not greedy. You could do 1 month. That's totally cool. Will you be installing your Ubiquity setup in your new house? I will be using the same USG, the security gateway, as well as the access points. I don't know that I'm going to go with their camera system. I'm looking for something a little bit more open source, something that's maybe BlueIris or ZoneMinder compatible. But their access points and network hub, definitely. I am going with a MikroTik for a core switch, though. I'm going with, I forget the name of the switch, but it's a 24-port gigabit with PoE+. That'll do standard PoE or PoE+, as well as has 4 SFP plus 10 gigabit ports. So why are you looking me up?
So I can see the chat because it's
tiring
to look over there.
Oh, you can just go restream.
Oh.
Well. Yeah, just type in restream.io. Yep. It's logged out.
Exactly.
Hit log in. There you go. And hold on. You suck.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in Firefox. That's why.
Oh.
Chrome.
So it's like
complete.
I'm like,
oh, I'm still logged out. What the crap? Oh, well, I've got my password manager on here.
Oh, LastPass.
Yep. True story. LastPass asked to sponsor a video, and I said, absolutely, let me make sure I like your product. And I installed LastPass, and they never got back to me about a sponsorship. But I still use LastPass.
Oh, yeah.
So this video brought to you by LastPass.
I use LastPass.
Even though they've never paid me $1. How old are you guys? 30s, I'm assuming? Yeah, we're in our 30s. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do we look younger?
Yeah. Here come the... I turned over to help you, and all of a sudden there's like 10 questions here.
Oh.
Like I say at Whiskey Tribe, drink what you like. Absolutely. What was Mark saying? Sorry, guys, I'm having Canadian Club. Canadian Club's more than welcome.
Yep.
Absolutely. Let's see. I'm not old. I'm 37. I'm not old. Yeah, you said that already. Someone's getting defensive.
Or someone's forgetting.
Yeah. Let's see. Opinions on gaming socks lacking RGB. I think it's an egregious oversight on the side of Puma, and they should be ashamed of themselves for not knowing what gamers actually buy, and that's a crap ton of RGB. Jeff pays for 2 beers a month for months when folks haven't sent them stuff. Exactly. Sometimes it's even like, yeah, I have these beers that people donate into the show.
Yeah, I know. A lot of times Jeff will like show, hey guys, I just got this like big shipment of beer and I'm not sharing unless you come on my show.
Well, I save it for the show. But I just got a new Killer Sue. Right
Yeah.
Yep. Any plans to use Mycroft or Pycroft for your home automation? I haven't looked into those. I haven't been necessarily looking at the Raspberry Pi-based home server solutions because I want to run it on my home server. I want to run a virtualized instance of whatever I'm doing on my home server and not run a Raspberry Pi just as a dedicated box for home automation. I'm not necessarily opposed to it, but I'd prefer to go virtualization and go the other way. So, have you tried ECC memory with AMD Ryzen APUs, such as the 3400G? I have never tried ECC with an APU. I will be running some ECC on a Threadripper CPU here before too long, but that's been done before. So no, I haven't done that particularly. Might be interesting to find out. I actually have a Threadripper system build coming up here very soon. I wonder how fast my 64 gigs of ECC memory would overclock on the Threadripper system, because it's 2133 ECC. That might be fun. Have you ever danced with the devil by the pale of the moonlight?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Yes. Anything new projects coming up with FreeNAS or Server Cloud Gaming? Interesting you should say that. FreeNAS has a new video coming next week. I have an all-in-one server build. So if you wanted to do a home lab or a home server build and you wanted the best of virtualization and FreeNAS all-in-one box, that's what I'm building.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun. The cloud server build, I'm going to be revisiting that in January sometime, after CES. I wanted to get to it earlier than that. I'm running out of time. So it's going to be probably the first thing I get back to once I get back from CES in January. Let's see. Who is the Joker?
I don't know if that was for the previous question or about us.
Yeah, who knows? For reals though, any experience with Proton Mail? I've never dealt directly with Proton Mail, as far as like a self-hosting kind of thing.
Nope.
I've tried to shy away from hosting my own email because
there's a lot. Google has done such a great job already.
Google does such a great job. Why?
Yeah. Well, yeah. but they do what I need. I don't need to reinvent the wheel and, basically beat my back over it.
Becky from Discord says a friend was given this as a thank you from her clients. She got a 4x collection of Johnny Walker, got a Black Label, a Gold Reserve, an 18, and a Johnny Blue. That's solid.
Oh, I thought Becky was sending that to us. That'd be awesome. Like, thanks, Becky.
Where's my Johnny 4-pack?
Yeah.
God, I love Johnny Blue. Let's see. Thank you for your Ubiquity video. Help me out installing the controller on my Raspberry Pi. Excellent. That's actually kind of what I was hoping for in that, because I did that review basically on the access point, but I wanted to kind of like, I'm buying into the Ubiquity system. How do I set it up at home? And I thought giving a virtualization and a Raspberry Pi example would be a great way to show a home user, here's how you do this. So excellent. Dye RGB monochrome LEDs for the win. What the heck's the difference between a monochrome LED and an RGB LED? You can set the color to whatever you want. It doesn't have to be unicorn vomit. The colors above me are RGB. Guess what? I have red over there and blue over here. And you know what? They haven't changed unless I tell them to. So if you like a red build, buy an RGB and make it a red build. It's literally the same cost. Thanks to the FreeNAS videos, I happily have a server running on my i7 3770K with 32 gigs of Ripsaw DDR. Excellent. Very cool. Virtual FreeNAS or FreeNAS as the hypervisor in your recommending video? Virtual FreeNAS with hardware pass-through for the hard drive controller. Not as the host OS. Yes, it's going to be fun.
People are still going on this Batman thing.
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah.
I have no idea what's
staying out of it.
I know.
Virtualized FreeNAS isn't a good idea. I beg to differ.
No, virtual FreeNAS is great. I enjoy it. That's why I had a server for a while on FreeNAS. It's great.
Yeah, he's saying virtualizing FreeNAS. I beg to differ because I'm going to run a hypervisor on the top of it. And then run FreeNAS as a virtualized OS inside of that and pass through whatever hard drives it wants. So FreeNAS will have direct access to the hard drives and basically bare metal level for networking, CPU, and ECC support. And you get a better hypervisor than FreeNAS provides. So why not?
Yeah.
Yep. They missed the Tim Burton Batman reference and the Holy Grail age reference. Apparently we missed both of those. How long ago did BPS Customs Brian reach out for the best of 2019 video? About a week before it posted.
so basically, right when he was like, "I'm moving," I have to do a video now.
He contacted me on Thursday of like a week ago. Or no, it was the Thursday prior. So he gave me like 7 days notice, and I got the video to him last Friday, and it posted today.
So was that the first video you shot in here?
Yes.
Like, wait, that timeline?
Yeah.
The first video you shot?
That's right. Yeah. No, we had a Talking Heads in here first, because we had Talking Heads with Rhett last Wednesday. Yeah.
But then the next day you had to shoot that.
Yes. So yeah, I had the lapel. There's still a lot of echo in the room.
I saw that. I was like, that audio is a lot better than Talking Heads. Then I noticed the line because you were wearing your ugly sweater. And I was like, well, there's a line there. Oh, that's a lapel.
Yep. But no, I was really happy to be part of that video. Brian over at BPS is awesome, as is Brian at Tech Yes City, as is Brian at Bad Seed Tech. They're all Brians to me.
Bunch of bees.
But no, great group of guys. I think the only ones out of that group that I have not met in person is Steve from Gamers Nexus and Wendell from Level 1 Techs. Although I've met Wendell by proxy. I've talked to him online once or twice. I've stood right next to Steve, and in fact, I've been in the background of one of his videos, but I've never like officially said, "Hey, I'm Jeff. Hey, I'm Steve." We've never shaken hands.
Yeah, Brian reached out to me, and I was like, "I don't think you want me to do the best beer."
No,
I was like, "This just doesn't fit," so I turned him down.
Yeah.
So that's why I wasn't in the video.
Yep. Peter says, "Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen. Guten Abend." From our end of the world. Here it is, 10:03 p.m. Jeff, have you ever only gotten 8 hours of sleep over 2 weeks for finals? I've gotten less than that, so try me.
Trade school.
Let's see. Is Unraid going to be the hypervisor? No. Nice setup, but 2 boom mics messes up the framing. I've always had 2 boom mics. It's just the camera angle's a little bit different, and the boom mics are a little bit closer to help deal with some of the echo.
Yeah. No, the audio will be adjusted within the next few weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably after CES, I'm really going to attack the audio, but it's going to be what it is for
right now.
For a little while. When is the Hops and Brews X99 build coming out? Eventually? Yes?
Maybe?
Now, it has to come out eventually because there were some sponsored parts for that video. So I need to put out something because,
there's all the footage.
Here's the raw footage. I mean, it's all here on my system.
Oh, man, look at that butt. That's a great shot. Right?
John digging through my liquor cabinet as usual.
That's a great shot right there. Yeah. What you guys don't see is that sexy cabinet. Yeah. You see that? That's mine.
That cabinet?
Oh no, that
case.
That
yeah.
Cabinet case, whatever you want to call it.
I will say this was still shot on the Fuji, and it still looks really good though. Yeah. Although I really like my.
Oh wait, could they see that?
No.
No. Then they don't get any of that.
John's X99 build will be coming before too long. Let's see. Let's try to get through a couple more of these, and then I think we're gonna call it a night. Any of them pique your interest?
Oh gosh, I got so distracted by my own video, my own behind.
Great. Someone says there's a weird eye spot on the wall right behind me, and I didn't see it until now.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Look at that eye.
It's the all-seeing eye.
That's right. Illuminati. I generally use Hyper-V as my hypervisor because it works. I've wondered if FreeNAS will support 10 gig internal networking when virtualized. Yes, it will. Because if you're using Hyper-V as your front end, the driver that Microsoft uses does support 10 gig networking. So you are all set there. Do you know LTT Linus? Linus was actually, ironically enough, the first tech tuber I ran into when I was...
The first CES?
The very first CES I went to. And I was very green around the gills. Corsair that year called a 7 a.m. press conference on Monday morning. And I had like 1,200 subscribers at the time. And I weaseled my way into CES, and I'm 5 minutes late to this press conference. They've already started. I show up at like 7:04 or something like that, and I said, "Hey, I was supposed to be in here," and they said, "Oh yeah, right in there." And they already closed the door, so they opened the door back up for me, and they opened the doors, and I literally like stumble through the doors, and I go, and Linus is sitting right here, and I was in the mindset very early on that I was going to be like starstruck or like, oh my God, there's Jason Sands, or oh my God, there's Linus, or oh, it's Steve, and or Paul and Bitwin, and whatnot. Now, I thought I was going to be in that mindset, but I come stumbling into this room late like an idiot. And I kind of do like this number because I literally almost tripped over Linus because he's only this tall. And he does one of these to me. He goes, ugh. And he goes right back to listening to the press conference. And I realized immediately it's still 7 a.m. for him too. He's still a person. He's still pissed off. He doesn't want to be here. He's fulfilling an obligation. He's getting the data that he needs to get so he can make a video, and he's going to move on to his next thing. He's just at work right now. He's just a regular guy, and I'm just a guy trying to break into this industry. There's no, besides the 9 million subscribers, there's no difference between the two of us.
Yeah, I mean, he's not sitting there on a plush sheet and got woken up early.
He didn't have that velvet pillow under his ass.
He had to sit in the same seat you had to sit into.
He flew in the same night that I did. He was still at the 7 a.m. press conference. He was still, a little bit jet lagged and lethargic and everything else. And I'm going, he's just another guy, And yeah, he's got, whatever he does on YouTube. But I had that brief interaction with Linus. That's the only interaction I've ever had with him personally. Is him looking up at me and going,
and that's what he thinks of Jazz Channel still to this day.
Probably. I doubt he even knows about that. Like, I doubt he even remembers that because it was so anticlimactic.
Well, yeah, it's probably just one of those things like,
this dude almost tripped over me.
Yeah, this is just a dude.
But I walk into that room, and I had to sneak around the backside and whatnot and get my little monopod out for my camcorder and record the conference. And whatnot. And I'm looking through the crowd, and there's Steve Burke, and there's Paul, and there's Kyle, and over in the corner was Greg, and I don't think Jay attended that year, but there's Linus sitting over there, and there's this other guy, and like there's Joker, and I'm going through, and I'm like, I recognize all these people, and they're all just doing the same thing that I'm trying to do.
They're all so short,
right? Right. So it was kind of like a reality check for me, going, you don't need to be starstruck, just go in there and do your job. And I went in there and I did my job and did a video right afterwards, and it was great. So eventually I'll probably end up meeting Linus. I am hoping to go to LTXs next year if it works out, if I've got the leave time left, because we ended up buying the house and I've taken a lot of vacation days for this. But we'll see. Linus is not too far north from him. Yeah, he is. Linus is like 400 miles from me.
Vancouver, I mean, not super far, but...
Right. It's not like a terrible distance away, but he is technically in another country.
Technically, I mean, LA is technically further.
Right.
So, Vegas is further. Then going
San Francisco is further.
Yeah, so...
From me. So, I mean, relatively, I'm only 600 miles from San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, technically, it is a day drive. You could drive to there.
Right.
In a day.
I've done San Francisco in one day. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was 10 hours. Let's see. Linus is a cool dude. He seems so down to earth. And that's what I've heard as well. And I know a number of people who do know Linus, and I've talked about Linus with them and whatnot. And, so eventually I'll meet him. It'll be fun. But no, the BPS video, I was so happy to be part of that. So again, thank you, Brian, for having me on that. If you guys haven't seen it yet, go check that out. BPS Customs. It's me, Wendell, Brian from Bad Seed. There's Greg from Salazar Studio, Science Studio. Greg Salazar, whoever the heck he's calling himself these days. I make fun of him, but he drives a Nissan at least. So, unlike Brian, who drives a BMW.
Oh gosh!
Yeah,
why?
Yeah, he drives an M5.
How often does that thing break down?
Yeah.
Like once a week?
And he tries to make fun of Greg and me for driving Nissans. Greg drives an Infiniti, and I drive the Z350.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's like, you don't have a leg to stand on, buddy.
My car breaks down every month. It costs me $5,000 every month to repair.
Oregon and Vancouver is nothing. I'm assuming you mean Oregon to Vancouver is nothing.
It's not Vancouver, Washington.
Right. Or Little Portland, as we call it.
Yeah.
No, it's Vancouver, BC, which is still the entire state of Washington away. And, I'm midway through the state of Oregon. I'm halfway through it.
Yeah, so we're still an hour to the border from Oregon.
Yeah.
And then you got to drive through Washington, which is another 5 hours.
Which is 270 miles, I want to say.
Something like that. So you're still talking 5-ish hours.
Yeah.
To get there.
Yeah, it's not like a short jaunt.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, if you wanted to make a 24-hour day trip, yes, you could do it.
It's in theory possible. Right.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that is the end of this video. I think we're all out of questions. And we are right at the 2 hour and 7 mark now.
So, that's good.
Close enough.
Close enough.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching episode 111 of Talking Heads, your once weekly live show for the latest in beer and tech news every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Pacific time, except for the next 2 weeks when we're at Thursday night at 8 p.m. Pacific time for the latest in beer and tech news. Make sure to join the Discord by getting on the Patreon down in the video description below. Your contributions really do help out this channel and keep content coming to you. You want to see odd projects, you want to see weird server stuff, you want to see used stuff. That money doesn't grow on trees, but it does through your generous contributions. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Craft Computing. Make sure to follow John on Twitter at Craft Computing, and subscribe to Hops and Brew.
Yeah, they can't follow me on Twitter on Craft Computer.
Sure they can.
I mean, they probably, yeah, because I reply all the time. They could follow me.
I tried to slip it in. Make sure to follow John at Hops and Brews. And subscribe to Hops and Brews on YouTube as well if you like the beer content that we have done on this channel thus far. It's a little more boring because, you know, I'm not in that video all the time. Although I'll be in this next one.
You'll be in tomorrow's video.
That's right.
So
that's right. We're gonna shoot a video here as soon as we're done here.
Yep.
So
anyway,
thank you all. We'll see you in 8 days instead of the normal 7. And cheers.
See you guys.